Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We present stories drawn from the lessons in history as well as our folk tales and mythology, which are anchored on moral values. We think that these stories contain a tremendous amount of moral values, moral teachings, which our young children and adults can inculcate in their lives and become stronger and better human beings. Very often in our day to day lives, we are hurt by someone's words or someone's actions. What do we do when we feel hurt? We talk to the other person, we protest, we retaliate, we think why the person said whatever he said. Imagine that the person on the other side is someone in a position of power, authority, where you hesitate to speak to the person who's in a position of power or authority. What do you do in such situations? Many of us even don't gather the courage to hold a conversation with the other person, trying to understand the other person's point of view. Many times we react, we retaliate. Many a times we keep thinking about it ourselves and we lose the peace of our mind. What should we be doing about it? If we think of Ramayan, Lord Ram, when he is about to be coronated as the king of Ayodhya, and the whole kingdom, all the citizens of Ayodhya are extremely happy about it. The announcement has already happened. At that point in time, Mother Kaikeyi comes up with a demand that Ram be sent to the jungle for 14 long years and her son will become the king of Ayodhya. And that's what happens. Ram goes to the jungle. He spends 14 long years and has faced a lifetime of challenges. Of course, he gets out of it victorious. He gets out of it as a greater and nobler person than he was. However, the point is that what he does when he comes back after 14 long years, how does he respond? How does he react to Mother Kaikeyi? Ramayan says that he had forgiven Kaikeyi's seemingly cruel and very biased steps, which are extremely unfair towards Ram. But he doesn't react negatively. He continues to demonstrate the same level of love, respect, and all kind of affection that he had towards Kaikeyi before the event. For some of us, it may sound like a theory, like a fiction. However, the teaching embedded here is extremely deep. If we dip into some of the lessons in history, think of the World War II and what the Nazis were dishing out to the Jews. There have been enough books written on this. The dying Nazi soldiers, when are met by the Jews who had survived the Holocaust, how do they respond? The authors have described the amount of mental agony that people had to go through to forgive, to think of forgiving the dying Nazi soldier. The amount of suffering that they have gone through as a race, as people, has been extremely unthinkable level. However, Lessons in history have told us, lessons in mythology have told us that if we forgive the person, those words, those behaviors, those actions of the other person, we stay much more peaceful. It's not that the person deserves your forgiveness, it's about you deserve of yourself a state of peace and calm. The person said whatever he or she said, or whatever he or she had to act. Many a time that point of view or that criticism or that statement made by the other person may not really hold true. You may not really accept what the other person said. But the best way to deal with it is not to retaliate. Mahabharata is full of stories of retaliation. Someone says something to another person, that person holds a grudge in one's life, in one's mind, and keeps circulating that thought in one's mind all the time. It's all stories of revenge, one after the other, have been documented in the epic of Mahabharata. In Ramayan, there are stories similarly that people who have taken a revengeful approach, a retaliatory approach, have gone through tremendous amount of suffering in their own mind. Ram's wife was abducted by Ravan. His idea of holding a war against Ravan to get his wife back was not with a sense of retaliation, was not with the sense of I have to take revenge. It was with a sense of establishing order. As a warrior, he had to establish order in the society, and he was performing his duty not out of a sense of revenge or retaliation. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear young children and adults who are watching this, the message is extremely deep here. Only the brave, only the courageous, only the strong people, the noble souls can forgive someone, won't really hold a grudge or revenge or take revenge against the other person, is not going to retaliate. That we are going to deal with it with wisdom, with calmness in our mind. I hope this was interesting. This is deep and intense, needs for a lot of introspection. Thanks in advance for spreading these words of wisdom amongst many more people. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 16, Lord Sri Krishna tells us 26 noble qualities. One of them is Kshama. Kshama means forgiveness or forbearance. Thank you very much.